Hello! In this video I wanted to go through my relatively basic Vimrc because a few people have been asking about it. Especially they've been asking how I do things like if we open a new JavaScript file, for example, if I just press F2 it runs the file for me. A few people have been asking how I do that. That's in my Vimrc, and we'll go through how I do that. And we'll go through the other stuff. So this stuff is just nothing particularly interesting. It's just sort of came with the Vimrc, I think. This thing here, I've picked Neo Bundle to use to install plugins with Vim. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. It seems to work fine for me. I'm not too fussed about the plugin manager I use. So coming down to the first plugins, this one's called Vim Go. This is quite a good one because it enables Vim to recognize Go, and it also, when you create a new Go file, it will create like a basic file for you. So I could type in, e.go, and it will just create the package for main. Although that's weird, it doesn't normally do that. It normally does more than that. So why did it do that time? So if we do yeah, it normally does that. I don't know why it didn't do it last time. But it normally creates package main, format FMT, function main, and then just prints Vim Go, and you can see it's created it. Pretty cool. Control P, this is one that I highly recommend. This basically allows you to press Control and P, and you can then start searching for things on your path. Now I'm just in a random folder, so it doesn't really matter. But I could start searching for things, type in Control P, and then just type in, t.js. And look at that, we've opened that file really quick. I like that, it's a great plugin. TypeScript Vim and JSX TypeScript, Vim JSX TypeScript. These basically allow Vim to recognize TypeScript and TSX files. In one of my videos I had the highlighting of the TSX files just kept crashing. Syntax highlighting was like, oh, I don't want to do it, meh. It turned out the plugin I was using wasn't very good. I've switched to this one recently, so Vim-JSX-TypeScript, and it's great. That allows syntax highlighting there. This Vim Gutton Tags one is a really good one. When you have a Git repository, it creates a tags file for you, which basically enables you to sort of have links between everything that's in the project. So you can type in control and then square bracket, closing square bracket, and it will jump to definition. So that's similar to control click in IntelliJ, and I think control click in VS Code. I think it's the same thing there, where you can jump to the method definition. Obviously this is a Vimrc file, so there's that, and this isn't a Git repository, so there's no tags file. But that's a really good one. This is just the end of the Neo bundles. This is pretty cool. This basically just, well, it's not even cool. It just excludes node modules from Control P. So instead of searching through everything, it searches through node, doesn't search through node modules. That one I think again came with the Vimrc, and that's just for Neo bundle. Syntax on, this is so that we can have all pretty colors. If we were to do syntax off, as you'd expect, reopen Vim, it's horrible, don't like that. So we'll make it pretty again. That's what syntax highlighting is in Vim. Set number. So I have the line numbers, so you can see those to the left of the screen. Some people like having relative number, which is where it tells you what the line above you is. So the line above you will be 1, the line below you will be 1, and sort of counts. So you don't have to do any counts if you were to try and do things like, I don't know, a movement based on the line number that you want to do, which you can do a lot of in Vim. I don't like it because what I would want to know always is what line I'm on, what line it is that's 25. So if I want to go to 25, I can just do 25, and I like being able to do that. Even though you could do it similarly with relative numbers, where you could sort of do I don't know. So from here you could do, go there, you could do 10J. No, wrong way round. Whatever, but you can move that way. I just like number. Ideally, I would have 2 blocks of numbers, one that's relative and one that's the actual numbers. That would be better for me. Cursor line, this is that big blue line that's going along the screen now. That's what cursor line is. This just sets tab size to 2, not really fussed about what that is. I've set that. Timeout len 1000. So this is a problem I was having with my escape key. When I was using the escape key, it wasn't responding quickly enough. This may have affected it, may not. I still seem to have the problem every so often, so it might not be anything to do with this. This is a cool one. Map capital W to write. Many times when you're using a Vimrc or writing a Vim file, you do this to write the file, and in that case it went well. I did :W, but sometimes I'm an absolute sponge and I'll do something like that, which is capital W, and normally it wouldn't write, but with this it maps capital W to the right command, so capital W would just write the file as opposed to throwing a wobbly. Okay, this as it says here turns off the arrow keys, so no remap up, down, left, right. So you can't use the arrow keys to move around in insert mode, in normal mode. In insert mode you can though, if you wanted to. You could turn them off in insert mode as well if you really wanted to. The reason you want to do that is just to get used to using the the JK, L and H to move around and all the other Vim goodness. Insert mode remappings. This is one here, JJ. So if we would go into insert mode, you can either press escape to get out of insert mode, or you could do JJ in this case. The reason I was testing that is because I was having problems with my escape key, which I've remapped to the caps lock key on my keyboard, which I recommend you do if you use Vim. This is just an alternative way of getting out of insert mode. The problem I was having with my escape key sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't happen. Meh. This was an attempt to fix it. Now this is the fun bit. This is how we execute files based on whatever file type I have. So first thing, I'm mapping F2 to call this particular function. This is a function called file command. And what this does is, firstly, it will execute write, so it'll write the file. I probably should make it do it better, because I think it does work in insert mode at the moment, but I can't remember if it stopped working in insert mode. I could see try. No, it doesn't work in insert mode. I did have a thing I was going to do at one point to make it work in insert mode, but this will first write the file, then it will check the file type. So what it will do is it will find the file extension. So this expand %, :E is just finding the file extension. So if I was to type in %, % is just the current file, and like I say, this just extracts the file extension from here. So if it turns out to be a Python file, then we exec Python 3 plus the file. So that's that % again. So it's just the equivalent of doing this and doing Python 3 file.py. But instead of doing that, we're doing it in one call by just pressing F2. And it's a similar thing for some other languages as well. So I've got Scala, JavaScript, Shell, C++, Go, Rust, C, TypeScript as well. So TypeScript is slightly different. TypeScript is like C and C++ here, in that we have to actually transform the file before we do anything with it. So in this case, we do a TypeScript compile of the file, then we run node on the new file, but that's called JavaScript instead. So this %R is getting the first bit of the file and not getting the second bit of the file. Dot here is just like add. We're just concatenating the two strings. So this is going to be whatever the file name is minus its extension plus JavaScript, because the file is obviously going to be a TypeScript file. So what we want to do is take away TS and replace it with JS, and this is the quickest way I could think of doing that. And then that's just the end. And then the similar thing over here, although I think I've got an older Vimrc here because this is slightly older. This just calls the test command. Similar thing, so F3, it will instead write run tests for a particular language. And then the last thing here is just something I was messing about with the other day. This is so that if I was in a Java file, so if I was to create a Java file now and just say, I know, t.java, and I go into insert mode, and I type in ;P, look at that, it just puts something there. which is something I want to mess about with and make it a little bit better, because I could add a whole series of these things that would make my life a lot easier when I'm writing Java and writing other languages as well. But what that one does is, so it first checks the file type. If it's a Java file type, now I could probably alter all this to have this new file type thing. I didn't know about it when I wrote all this. And then insert remapping, and then it'll be whatever your remapping is, in this case :p. It gives this private void test, which is just a test of what I'm doing. But yeah, that's about it. Like I say, if you have any recommendations for things you put in your Vimrc, I'd be interested to hear them. But yeah, that's about all I want to talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Au revoir.